May profits be upon you. This is part 2 of the weekly forecast, and I already put the first part out where I handled the Forex pairs, and this is for the gold for gold. These markets, gold, the indices, the Dow, the Nasdaq, the S&P, and oil and Bitcoin. All right, we're gonna start off with gold. Let's get right into it. Hope you're having a great day today. All right, what do we see with gold? Range. Look at all this range here. Just sideways action, right? But what did we do? We waited until there was a breakout, a break of structure. All right, and what does that usually mean? Break of structure is followed by a return to impulse. And where's the impulse? The impulse was here. Boom. This order block right here. This is the originating impulse for this. This is the originating order block for this impulse, right? And price went right back to it. All right. And what do we expect? We expect price to come into this order block and give more a continuance of the bullish momentum. All right, a resumption of the bullish momentum. This is bullish momentum here with these highs and lows, breaking to the upside. We correct down to here, the impulse, the pullback, and then we expect price to continue bullishly. That's it, right? Now, but that's on the daily view. Let's take a closer look on the 4-hour. Now, we have a ceiling here, this daily order block here. I should have pointed that out in the daily time frame. All right. Do I expect price to come all the way back here? It's a possibility. All right. But what I want to stress here, and I'm going to take a little time to do so, is once we have this break of this range here, we expect a return to impulse. All right. We expect the same thing that happened here on the larger scale, on the same smaller scale here. We had price break this low, come all the way down here, all right, form a bullish order block, all right, and break these highs, raise these highs all the way up to the top, taking this one, leaving that one, right? What do we expect? A correction, all right? I got to a couple of different spots that I'm looking for a correction here, either at this 3-hour order block or this 3-hour order block. You don't see an order block here, but I'm looking for a reason for price to turn that has the potential to turn price back bullish. And if you go to the 3-hour order, the 3-hour time frame, I believe I did that correctly. 3-hour time frame. All right, you'll see that there's some order blocks here. Do I expect them to hold? We'll see. We'll see how price reacts once it gets in there. But we are in a 3-hour demand zone right now. All right, you can see they piled up, they stacked them here, bullish, bearish, bullish, into another bullish, bearish, bullish formation that represents demand. And we see a little reaction here on the lower time frames. Price could definitely take off from here. If there's a continued pullback of continued correction, all right, I wouldn't take a buy from here. I wouldn't. All right. Why? Because this isn't much of a pullback. I want a real pullback, and that would be down here. I want to see at least a 61.8 pullback on a Fibonacci retracement tool, a 62% pullback, and then I'll take a long from here for sure, because it's coming back to areas to levels that have seen a lot of activity. Understand? Okay, good. So that's what I'm looking for in gold. I hope that was easy. Next, let's go to US 30, otherwise known as the Dow Jones. Take a look on the daily. Boom. What do we see? We have our ceilings here, right? We see how prices reacted here. What do we want to make note of? What is the order flow? what is the order flow? Is it bearish order flow or is it bullish order flow? Well, up to this point, it's been bearish, right? We see bearish order blocks being respected and maintained. And then we have this drop all the way down here. Now, why do we have that drop? Well, it's the same thing here as was on gold. We want to see this, a break of structure, right? We see a break of structure. We're expecting a return to impulse. That impulse came down here. Where's the impulsing order block? Can anybody tell me? Look at this bullish, bearish, bullish formation here that came back to test the means, the median threshold of this order block. Of course, this is where I would be looking for price to return for a return to impulse move, right? And it comes right to the center of it. And we see that bullish reaction. Okay, got it? Good. All right, that's on the daily. All right, we see it formed a bullish pattern. All right, this is an unmitigated order block it formed. We have a very strong impulse from here. And what are we expecting up here? Price came back to this area. Did we make a new high? No, we did not. Now that's interesting. What did I tell you in my other video, my previous video? I said on a return to impulse, if we don't see a continuance of the prevailing momentum, which is either in this case is bullish, then we can count on we'll have to look to see if price is going to continue bearishly. If there was a shift, if there's a shift in momentum, we'll see the signs for it. Broke structure here. This is a very bullish indication. We've seen a return to impulse. We're looking for the bullish continuance. If there is no bullish continuance, then we'll be looking for this weak low, because it did make a new high. That's what makes it weak. We're going to look to see for this to become a liquidation target. All right, and I'm pretty sure that this low will be ran as as in a rating sense. These lows are going to be ran as a rating in a sense of rating by market makers, because it's a weak low. Weak lows get ran, period. So what am I looking for here? Let's look on the 4-hour. It's very simple enough. All right, price is reacting to the supply zones, these 4-hour supply zones here. We see that it created, if I blow this up a little bit, zoom in, we see that it created bearish formation here. There is no mitigation on this order block. I would not be surprised to see, as price is reacting to this small bullish this demand zone, see the exhaustion here. I can see price correcting up to this point and then continuing bearishly. All right, if price was to do that, we would definitely be having a one of these. All right, now some might say this one is inappropriate. This is a stretch. Put it here, because what I want to see is a higher high, a break of this low, and then a return to impulse. That's what I want to see. And we already see that this one was rated. So I'm looking for bearishness here. Bearishness is what we got. I'm looking for a correction, maybe a bear flag. Maybe it doesn't come up this high. Maybe it comes up here. Maybe it comes up here. All right. Maybe this acts as a low to be reckoned with, like a breakup of sorts. So I'm looking here, but I'm primarily going to look to see what price does once it reaches this the wick of this bullish, the last bullish move before the down move. All right, this area here. So that's what I'm going to be looking for, a correction and then continued bearishness. I'm looking for bearishness to come into this market. Next, NASDAQ. All right, let's go to the daily. What do I see? Oh, it's at first glance, I was like, oh, it's messy, but really it's not. High, higher high. We'll break this low. We'll come back up, return the impulse. We have an inverted, I mean, a regular straight up head and shoulders. All right, it did come back to a neckline here. All right, and we have the continuance, the completion of it. This is the confirmation once we break that next line. All right, we come back up, return to impulse here. All right, at this two-day order block, you can see that clearly on the 2-day time frame. All right, right here. Good. All right, and what do I expect at this point? Why might stock data look different? Okay, why am I in this? Okay, I don't know what's going on here. One day, help me. I don't understand. All right, I have messed up somehow. Let me see something here. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I don't know what I just did, but excuse me. All right, so what do we have here? Return to impulse, found this bullish order block here, all right, representing demand, and we sprung back up. We formed bearish order block here, and then a very large bearish order block here. This is telling me with these bearish engulfers that bearish order flow is being respected here. All right, we have a head and shoulders up here. Why would I think price is going to start turning bullish all of a sudden? I'm not. Taking buys here in this market, I think it's a little risky. I don't think they're going to be high probability trades. Just my viewpoint right now. Now, on the 4-hour, things become a little bit clearer, right? We see the return to impulse. We see this, the breaking of these lows here. And on this time frame, this is a break of structure, all right? And what do we expect after a break of structure? Return to impulse. That's exactly what it did. And then we see the continuance of the bearish momentum, all right? Now, what do I expect from this point? We are at an 8-hour order block. We got an 8-hour ceiling, we got an 8-hour floor, all right? Price has come below and taken those, ran the lows of these, the liquidity on those lows, all right? We see prices responding with a fight from buyers to bring price back up. We have inefficient price move here that price could definitely want to balance off. We are in a trading range up and down. We can see the borders of this trading range pretty clearly. But do I expect a breaking of these highs? No, not from here. All right. I see a respect of bearish order flow, a respect of bearish order blocks. I see price moving bearishly, breaking lows on the way. Yes, maybe we get a correction at this point, just like in the other indices. But I'm looking for a bear flag, and quite possibly price to continue lower. We could stay in this range until January, but because of the information I put out in the fundamental information I put out in the other video, I believe that there is a flight to safety going on, and any bullishness we might see in the markets will be short-lived, very short-term. I think we're going to see a strengthening in the USD. I think gold, like I mentioned earlier, will probably be seeing some strengthening because I believe safe havens are what's people are going to run to. And again, this is not only in the US, there are a lot of concerns fundamentally, a lot of news, Brexit, COVID, Omicron, and inflation. Everybody's moving to making deflationary moves. So the indices might see some declines, and I'm looking to see if it breaks past those lows here. And if I was to look for a number where I think the Dow Jones would probably reach 33, I mean the NASDAQ, I'm sorry, the NASDAQ will reach. I'm thinking that once we break here, let me get to the higher. Well, I'm going to leave it at this. I'm gonna leave it at this. This order block here we might get a test of this order block here. Now I'm going to be looking out for it at this point. Oh, come on, man. I'm going to be looking out for that. But in the meantime, I'm thinking, you know, we have a bearish order block here, and price may come back up into this order block to the middle. Come on, man. To the middle of this order block here for a correction, and then come back. All right. So that's what that's my forecast for NASDAQ. Next, let's see. S&P not too much different. On the daily, what do we see? We see the high taken out here. All right, liquidity grabbed, boom. All right, a slight pullback. Price breaks that high, break the high that broke that, right? And then we see a retracement. We'll pop back up into this 8-hour order block here. And you see the drop here. We made a bearish pattern. All right, again, respecting bearish order flow here. All right, but what did we do along the way? We broke structure. And what do we do? After a break of structure, you expect what? Come on, man, what is this? I make life so difficult. After a break of structure, you expect a return to impulse. So that's exactly what it did. And we came back up into this impulsing order block where price tested and had a big drop. And you see the fight that went on here. We went to a range, but we made lower. We continued lower. Look at this bullish order block that was created here, and then superseded, trumped, if you will, by these two bearish candles that engulfed it. All right, on a higher time frame, it's easier to see. Oh, I didn't go to one. I meant to go to 2-day. All right, on the 2-day, you can see that that is a bearish, bearish. So we're looking very bearish here. We're looking bearish. Let me say that clearly. All right, let's go to 4-hour. And what do we see? All right, price came up, took out the top, right? But on the higher time frame, like even on the 8-hour, this is where I drew my those order blocks. Oh man, I went to 8 minutes. All right, the 8-hour order blocks, you can see these are just liquidity grabs. The price closed back within this supply. All right, it's respecting the supply, and that's why price fell from it. All right, that's a key detail to make sure you note and remember. Okay, now it also formed a bearish order block on the 4-hour. All right, a bearish order block, and price fell from it. All right, and we're looking for price to take out these lows. That's exactly what it did. All right, and we're forming a bearish formation again. Now this candle didn't close with an engulfment, but what am I looking for? Maybe a little correction and then a drop, like I'm looking for in the other indices. Okay, now on the far chance that price gets strong enough in the S&P to return to impulse, which is a bit of a stretch at this point, then I would look for a sell here, because that would be the best price possible. But I'm looking for price to give us that bear flag, and then take that short once it starts to show that its price is turning over and transitioning from bullish momentum to bearish momentum. All right. Now, price in this, with this arrow here, this path arrow, I'm looking at maybe price continue bearishly from here, from this point, and we could see it come down and touch off at the 4 hour, and that would result in a break of structure, and I would be looking for a return to impulse of some kind and take another short from there, because I do expect more bearishness to come to this this market, the S&P. Let's move on. Next is US oil. All right. What am I looking for in US oil? I want to give you a good view. Let's go to the daily. And what do we see? Why am I driving myself crazy? Okay. All right. We have a break of structure. Price moved up. What are we looking for after a break of structure? Return to impulse. Price did return to impulse. Look at that. All right. At this order block right here. All right. Look at the impulse from here. Look at what it returned to, and look what it did after it returned. It responded bullishly. Boom, 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 boom. Continue the bullish momentum. That's what we look for. And then we broke structure to the upside again. Boom. Where did it return to? Where would you think it would return to? Right there. Right there. The impulsing order block. Boom. And we see a bullish response. This response looks a little weak. And we're making note of that, right? This is on the daily again. What are we expecting? Do I expect price to continue bullishly? No, I don't. Why? Because I'm looking at the Dixie. I'm looking at safe havens. I'm looking at risk off environment. I'm looking at people fleeing to safe havens, right? So I'm going to watch this very closely. Yes, maybe we might get some corrective movement to this this order block here. I believe this is a 2-day order block. Let me check that. Yeah, it's actually a 2-day order block here, and I'm taking the whole candle, right? All right, this order block is a larger one. I believe this is a weekly. All right, but I did it again. Now, one of the things that I want to see is how this correction develops. All right, are we going to see any more further upside action, or are we going to see price drop from here? No, that's the question that remains with me. All right, what I would like you to do is start to correlate things with the Dixie. Keep an eye on what the US dollar is doing. Now, I want to show you in candles. All right, just put them side by side. All right, what I want you to see is when price on the dollar is rallying, what is oil doing? Oil had a nice little rally here, but then you saw US dollar coming down. All right, risk on, risk off, right? That's what you want to think. All right, when the dollar had its rally, that's when you saw US oil coming down. Now dollar is rallying up, and we did see a brief rally in oil, and that rally is starting to fail. All right, they don't normally rise together. All right, just like this, gold and the US dollar. All right, when you put them side by side, you'll see where they converge and when they diverge, and that's the way you want to look at things. Your US dollar is the base. It is it sets the benchmarks. All right, sets the pace. All right, and for the most part. And when you look at the majors, when you look at gold, all right, you want to correlate that with US dollar movement. All right, and the US dollar index is the best way to do that. This is what I call this my best indicator, because I don't use indicators. I use price action. This is the best one to look for as your guide. If the US dollar is making higher highs, gold should be making a lower low. Euro USD should be making a lower low. All right, the Euro USD and the other majors that are aligned with that are paired with the US dollar, they should be doing the opposite of what the US dollar index is doing, except for US dollar yen. All right, they should be going in the same direction. All right, we're talking about US dollar, pound USD, Aussie USD, net New Zealand dollar USD, and the Euro USD. That's what we're talking about. All right, so I don't want to confuse you, because I sound confused. Right. All right. So with US oil, I'm looking for maybe a rally, taking out these highs and maybe touching off here, and then further moving to the downside. All right. I'm looking at these lows before I jump into anything. All right. Before I jump into anything, I'm looking at this low. I'm looking at these highs. I would rather take a good short than to take a short, start scalping from the middle of this trading range. You understand? Be patient. Be patient with your developments. This is the last one, Bitcoin. What am I looking at in Bitcoin? Oh, Bitcoin. I tell you what, this is not an easy, it's not an easy ride. Not for buyers, not for sellers. Let me tell you something, but I want to show you something really basic. All right, let's go to the monthly. All right, what I want to point out too is this impulse was followed by a standard golden ratio pullback. Just put your Fibonacci at the beginning of the impulse to the end of this impulse to see how to measure that correction. And you can see it came right to the 618. All right, this is what they call the golden ratio. Look it up. Look up what they mean by that with the Fibonacci retracement tools. All right, now we have a new impulse from here, right? Let's measure that. New impulse from the low of the impulse. I'm sorry, this is the low of the impulse, the start of the impulse, and to the top of the impulse. Boom. And where does it go to? Where is 618? What is that? I don't know what that is. That's not. Let's see. Move that out the way. Oh yeah, you can see we touched off at the 618. There's and that happens to be at a bearish bullish order block here. And you see the response here. On the monthly scale, once it hits this bullish bearish bullish formation, I'm looking at this as a representation of demand, and I'm looking for continuance to the high side. Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. I'm looking for a high, the next higher high from a higher time frame perspective. Simple logic and reasoning, right? Now, we don't need this anymore. What do we see on the weekly? If I can just get my life together over here, I'm going to blow this up so you can see clearly. All right, we formed a bearish order block up here, a bearish order block up here. All right, once it broke that high. All right, what does this represent? A break of structure. Exactly. All right, just break this down simply and it's not so hard to understand anymore. All right, we got a break instruction. And what do we expect after a break instruction? A return to impulse, right? Boom. Where's the impulse? Where's the impulsing order block? Look how strong this impulse is from here. All right. That's where I would be looking. And guess what? Guess what? That's where it came to. Boom, deep into it now, right? And we formed, what do we have now? A bearish, bullish, bearish. That is a bearish formation. That is a bearish formation. That means, for me, that maybe price isn't finished correcting down here. Maybe this return to impulse isn't finished yet. Maybe we want to fill at least 50% or more of this this wick. All right, but the bottom of this order block is here. Okay, let's keep that in mind. All right, let's go to the daily. And what do we see? Where's my pointer? This pointer is getting longer than it needs to be. All right, it's going to drive me crazy, so I'm going to leave it alone. All right. So what do we have here? Higher high, higher high. We break the structure here, and we didn't get our pullback yet. Watch, we have a descending correction here, and then another impulse. Oh wow! So we got, this thing is going to go right. This is that return to impulse here after breaking structure here, here, here. The breaking structure, we expect that return to impulse. We are correcting down to here. I am not bearish on this pair, on BTCUSD. I am not. I am bullish. I am not going to jump into a short here as it's descending here. We are in demand. All right, and we could what do you call, refine down to here. We can even refine down to here, depending on what you want to do, how you want to do it. I'm going to refine down to here as price is coming into this order block. I'm going to see, I'm going to look for price to transition from bearish to bullish momentum when it reaches down into there. I'm not sure what this was or why it's here. So if we go down to 4 hour, can we see price action any clearer? Not really. I mean, we can see the price action clearer, but all we see is price correcting. All right, and at some point, price is going to turn around. All right, right now we're respecting bearish order flow, or we're making lower lows and all. All right, and I am looking for a break of structure. All right, and we had a break here of short-term structure, right? We broke down, and maybe we get a return to impulse. So this might happen. All right, but here's the deal. I'm not looking to take that short. I'm not looking to take that short because I suspect that we're about to turn around. And what am I looking for? I'm looking for this low, lower, lower, and then a break of structure to the upside. All right, I want to see this broken. I want to see perhaps this one broken. Right, I'm looking at a break of structure, and then I want to see a return to impulse at this order block, wherever that's created, so that I can take this trade to the house all the way up. Okay, that is the plan, and that's why I'm not too short. That's not why I'm playing shorts on this one. All right, so I'm looking at this descending correction here, and I'm looking for the first signs that a break of that structure, and then a higher low is made. On that higher low, I'm taking it. I'm telling you right now, I'm taking it, but I'm looking to see, I'm looking for that that order block that's going to be formed. I'm looking for a bullish engulfer that's going to be formed possibly when it reaches this order block here. All right, as we continue to correct. All right, I'm looking at these lows, and if I see the lows starting to turn around and turn into higher lows, that's when I start, when my antenna goes up. All right, so I'm letting you know what my intent is, what I'm looking out for. But I'm hoping that this presents a very nice lift to the upside, because I believe we're going to raid these highs here, because there's nothing but good liquidity on top of those highs. All right, we have a lot of price to fill in there for a fair value gap to fill in, right? We have the inefficient move of price to come to take us up. So, I got a ceiling here. I got an order block here that price may do something with. I don't know. We have a floor down here, so we'll see. We're just going to take a good look at it and monitor it. All right, guys, have a very great, Merry Christmas and a lovely New Year. I'm probably, this is probably the last two-parter that I'm going to do for the year, all right, for the weekly forecast. And I will be doing some videos, though, back testing my 5-hour energy, my 5-minute to 2-minute order block scalping strategy. Yeah, so I'm going to be back testing it. I'm going to record those videos for you to learn, and hopefully we can start the new year off with a bang. All right, I'm gonna put out some videos while we're out, because I miss my people, and I need my I need that feedback from you. I need that feedback. If you're looking for a scalping strategy or not, I'm looking at gold, to be honest with you, to scalp on the 5-minute or the 2-minute. And if that excites you, let me hear about it in the comment section. Again, have a great holiday. Have a great holiday for those that celebrate it. Happy Hanukkah for those that celebrate Hanukkah, and for those that celebrate Kwanzaa, happy Kwanzaa. And I just want you to have a great time away from the markets. Okay? Have a great time away. Enjoy your family and friends. I'll talk to you in the next video.